All right, we're back, and here we are in Unit 2, Module 2, Session 3. The home connection is coins and arrays. It's a two-pager, right? You'll have to flip this over and make sure you do both sides. Reminder, name, class number, date is optional. We're going to write multiplication equations to show how much each group of coins is worth. We've got different types of coins and different numbers of each. If you are very comfortable with money, maybe you don't need my help for this, and you might pause the video, do it on your own, and then move ahead. But you know what I'm learning is that we've got a lot of people coming to our schools from other countries, which is awesome, and their money isn't the exact same way. Now, there's going to be an awkward pause in the video because I forgot my show and tell, but count to 10 and I'll be right back. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm back. So I have here an example of a coin, I guess, from a different country. So I have this coin right here, which was made in 2016. It has the date on it. It's a commemorative silver coin from China. And since they have different coins than we do, their money is slightly different and might be notated in a different way. So keep that in mind. Some of you might know your coins very well. Some of you might need a little bit of review. For example, nickels, we're going to say, are worth 5 cents. Dimes are worth 10 cents. Quarters are worth 25 cents. Ooh, that's an old quarter. Oh, that's a year older than I am. Okay. Now, they did an example. 5 nickels, 5 cents each. If you count a nickel 5 times, you get 25 cents. Okay? We can set it up this way. I have 10. I'm going to count the dime, or excuse me, we're doing nickels still, excuse me. I'm going to do my 5 cent nickel 10 times. Okay, and if you remember, our strategy is if we take something times 10, we're going to take the number and we're going to add that 0 on to the end. So we have 50 cents. Okay? 15 nickels, so I'm going to count the nickel 15 times. So there's my 5 cents. 15 times. Okay, what do I get? Is there an easy way to do this? 5 times 10 is 50. Okay. 5 times 5 is 25. If I add them together, I get a 5 on the right, a 7 on the left. So I would have 75 cents. Okay? Now if I move into dimes, I have to change my thinking. I can't think 5 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents. I'm going to change it, okay? So I'm just going to actually just write my 10 cents in right here, just so that I don't accidentally forget that those are all 10 cents. Now, I'm going to count the dimes 10 times. 10 times 10, 100 cents. You could also say it's $1, right? Because 100 pennies is $1, okay? I could do my 20 dimes, so I'm going to count my 10 cents 20 times. Okay, that would be 200 cents. 200 pennies is what? $2. Okay, 30 dimes. 30 times 10. Do you notice what we keep doing here? 3 times 1 is 3. Take both of the zeros and put it on the end. There we go. 300 pennies, 300 cents is $3. Okay? Either answer is fine. You can think of this as 300 cents or $3. Now, some of these are going to be a little bit trickier, but I'm going to give you some time to work on these. Okay, so instead of 10 cents, now I have 25 cents. I'm just going to put these in each one, just so I don't accidentally forget. I can even put my times in here if I'm not sure. I can move my numbers in. 8 quarters, 12 quarters, 17 quarters. We know it's going to equal something, so I just kind of set them up. I haven't answered them yet, but I have my problem set up, right? Now, as you're going through here, you might find yourself having to stack these to do an algorithm, okay? For example, 25 times 8. Okay, you could set it up 25. Just going to move my camera up a little here. Times 8. 8 times 5 is 40, but you have to put the 4 up top. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20. So that's 200 cents, okay? 200 cents, which is also the same as what? $2. Now, when you get into your double digits, this is where it's going to get a little interesting, right? But I highly recommend, rather than thinking in cents, what if we start thinking in dollars? Because we know 4 quarters is $1. Well, that's 4 plus 4 is 8, right? So that's $2. What if I count by 4s to get to 12? What if I go count by 4s? 4, 8, 12, 16, like this would be my number line, if you're thinking in number line. So this is $1, $2, $3, if I just think of stopping at 12. 4, 8, 12, 1, 2, 3. So 12 is the same as $3. I'll write that in there. You could think of 0 as no dollars in case you want to know that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4, 8, 12. Oh, I need a 1 there. Sorry. Okay. Now, speaking of that, 17 quarters. This one I'm going to leave up to you. I'm trying to get 17 quarters, and if I count by dollars, I can't get to 16, because what if I add 4 to 16, I get 20, and that would be sorry, I have to write this way, but that would be $5. Okay, so if I have one of them is 4, $2 is 8, $3 is 12, $4 is 16, $5 is 20. I don't have a 17, so I need to answer that question. What am I going to do? Well, why don't we start at the closest number and then add on? So if we know 16 quarters is $4, then what is $4 plus 1 more? Okay, and I'm going to let you put that answer there on your own, okay? You can always ask your teacher if you're not sure, okay? Pause it, see if you can figure it out. Always feel free to pause your video. Here on number 2, we're going to flip the page over to finish this, but we talked about quick sketches to do multiplication. These open arrays are super helpful. We're going to be, it says, label each array, so we have to label it, okay? We're going to fill it in with rectangles, write an equation to show how you would add it, and write an equation to show how you would multiply it. Now, they counted the line segments and found 4. They have a decimeter here, or a length of 10, and then 4 more units here, which is how we have the 4 here. When you draw your rectangle, to find the area, you take the dimensions and multiply. 4 times 10 is 40. Take these 4 units times these 4 units to get this square, which is 16. That's why they took 40 plus 16. They added both the rectangle and the square. Now over here they have a multiplication. They tried to do it in fewer steps. So they just took 4 times all of the top. 10 plus 4 is 14. So 4 is the height. Add it all together. 14 is the width. If you multiply it, you still get the same answer of 56. Now, let's see if we can do this together. Count and write with me. How tall is this? 1, 2, 3. Label it. How long is this? Well, let's label the easiest one first. We know that's a 10. This is not a 10, or else it would be a solid line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is a 9. Woo! This is kind of a big one. So let's finish these rectangles. I'm going to put this one here, right, because we have to break off the 10. That's easy math. We love to have 10s. And then you're going to break off what's left, okay? So I have a 3 by 10, 3 times 10, okay? I have a 3 times 9 over here. Now, if we want to do our addition, I'm going to say my 3 times 10 is 30, plus 9 times 3, 27. My total is going to be 57. If I want to do it in fewer steps, I can just do the area for the whole thing, which would be how tall it is, 3, times how wide it is altogether, which is 19, 10 plus 9, and then that would be my answer. But some people find it hard to count by 19s. 3 times 19 is kind of tough. Now, if you want to break it down, you could. 19 times 3, stack it. 9 times 3 is 27. Bring your 2 up. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Still got the same answer, 57. You could also break it apart. What is 19 made out of? 10 and a 9. Well, if I take 3 times 10 and 3 times 9, I end up with the same answer. Wait a second. Isn't that what we just did up here? Absolutely. Okay? So this one is when we add the separate rectangles. This is when we find the area of the whole thing. Okay? As you work on these next two, which I am not going to do with you, right? I'm just going to point out that you're going to be making sure that you isolate this rectangle and this rectangle, adding them here, and then multiplying the whole thing here. You're going to do the same thing on C. You're going to isolate the 10, isolate the rest, multiply, multiply, add them together here, multiply the height times the whole width here. And you really should pause this video and see if you can do those. If you catch yourself and you're not unsure, you can always ask your teacher or someone that you feel could help you, okay? Now, I love a good challenge. Raina said, how many different ways are there to make 30 cents using pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters? Woo! How many different ways are there to make 30 cents using pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters? Wow. What is this problem asking you to do? Well, I think just by reading it, is we're going to figure out how the different coins add up to 30 cents. I would say that's what it's asking us to do, don't you? How many different ways are there? Figure out how the different coins add up to 30 cents. Now, you're going to check one strategy. Do you want to guess and check? Do you want to draw a diagram? Do you want to make a table or an organized list? Do you want to do other? Do you want to go get a handful of coins and see if you can do it with physical coins? Go for it. With the time that I have with you, I'm going to make a table and I'm going to show my work. I'm going to do this with you, okay? So I'm going to say, let's start with the smallest one first. We have pennies, P, nickels, N, dimes, D, quarters, Q. Okay? Now, I like my lines. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So they're separate. And then I can start mathing it out. I could do 30 pennies and get 30. If I count by fives, how do I get to 30? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I could use 6 nickels would add up to 30. How many dimes will add up to 30? Well, I could go 10, 20, 30. So 3 dimes would add up to 30. How many quarters are going to add up to 30? Ooh, in that case, you can't really do a single quarter or multiple quarters to add up to 30, because a quarter is 25 cents, y'all. Come on now. So, but I could get clever, couldn't I? I could say 1 quarter is 25, plus a nickel gives me 30. I could say 1 quarter plus 5 pennies would give me 30. And I can get as clever as I want. I could say, what if I only wanted to do 2 dimes? I'm doing tick marks, by the way, chicken scratch. So that'd be 20 cents. And then I could do 2 more nickels. That would add up to 30. What if I did 2 dimes, 1 nickel, and 5 pennies? That adds up to 30. And all of these would be separate rows, right? I could use my ruler to show, couldn't I? Make these go all the way down. But there are, I'm going to guess, a few different ways. Now, if you're clever enough to come up with all of them, good for you. But do your best to come up with, I don't know. I bet you could probably get 10 without too much struggle, but show your work down below. Now, there are blank different ways to make 30 cents using pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters. Well, if we are only going by using singles, I could do it 30 pennies, 6 nickels, or 3 dimes. You could say that there's only 3 ways to use pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters using only that type of coin, right? But there are many more ways that we could do it with dimes, nickels, and pennies and quarters if you can combine them into different ways. And I'm really excited to see what your work is, and I'm sure your teacher is too. So have a little fun with this. See how many ways you can come up with. Tables help. You might even need an extra sheet of paper just to be able to figure that out. All right? As usual, you have a question. Ask someone that you trust can help you in math. Your teachers love to help you. There might even be someone at home that would want to also. Okay, I'll check you guys later.